All right, guys, we are live. We are back for game number two. Let's go ahead and start us out. All right, score. Please introduce our players for us, sir.
At the bottom right, we have the purple Zerg. Kind of reminds me of like the Snuggle Bear with his name. It's Snuffsie. Yeah, you get that? The Snuggle Bear? I don't know. Anyway, spawning at the top left, we have the orange Protoss. Old man of payback guy, the wise guy that gives everyone the advice. Really, really cool guy. He's like your dad, pretty much. It's payback coach.
Yeah, I'm okay calling Snuffsie Snufflebear from now on. I'll meet you there.
It's a good compromise, I'd say. It's kind of in
I
between.
like it.
Snuggle.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think it fits. He's like, okay, he like embodies the Zerglings from the Carbot animation. Like that's what I think of when I look at Snuffsie.
There you go. Exactly. I like that. I like that. Now this is Snuffsie's pick, Ohana. I think it means family. Snuffsie saying sun was in his eyes last game. I love Snuffsie. This is his pick. He did lose game one to a very committed and just like definitive coach push. Wasn't meant to be an all-in or anything like that, but God did it do the trick from coach. So props to him.
It was like a denied all-in from Snuffsie. That where when your opponent holds a macro advantage and you do literally no economic damage, they kind of just aim across the map and kill you.
Yeah, at that point you're sort of committed to losing because you were all in more or less.
Yeah, and then it just got held and you did absolutely nothing. But I really want to comment first on the Snuffsie, the sun was in my eyes comment. That's something I've heard a lot in a lot of like sports. Like if a girl's pitching against you and like you're trying to play baseball or something like in the backyard with like all your neighborhood friends, and she strikes you out and you just look like a complete joke. Like, dude, the sun's in my eyes. It's like the 5-year-old excuse, but at the same time, because of StarCraft, it's like utterly hilarious. That was definitely well played.
Oh, did you catch the follow-up from Snuffsie saying I should play indoors more often? The mental image I have of him playing StarCraft at a desk outside is hilarious.
Think of like a park bench with like a bunch of little kids around or whatever. Like they're all playing and happy, swinging on the swings and just having a good time. And then there's this random creepy dude with like a really, really bad haircut that smells really bad, like a really old abused Snuggle Bear, and it's like just playing StarCraft right there.
A laptop out there and everything, with cords askew, just complete disaster.
He's got a cord running from his router that's in his house 300 yards away to the table.
Yep, exactly. That is Snufflebear to a T, I think. Yeah, I think we did have the Forge Fast Expand here from Condor Sans expansion, though. So I've got to wonder if this isn't like a faux expansion that's just going to be immediate cannon pressure or something to that effect, because it's looking an awful lot like that.
Oh, that cannon is so late, though.
Well, I think he went down to the third first, thinking the third was going to be there, and then it wasn't. And then by the time he got up here, he's like, well, I'm going to put down this pylon. Oh, your creep is on top of it already.
Yeah, he needs to cancel. As soon as that spine finishes, if there's no cannons already started, it's immediately shut down. Yeah, like, exactly. You cannot have, the spine would have finished first. So, very good call by coach. Just going to expand. Takes a little bit of a loss. Not a big deal. 25 minerals.
Yep. He's obviously an old and wise man, mature in his beyond his years, I think, knowing that the jig was up and canceled it.
Yeah. I mean, he did lose the expansion time a little bit too, so that's a few extra workers he's not going to have. So it's more than 25 resources lost, but again, not a huge deal.
Nope, not when you're playing whippersnappers like Snuffles.
Man, that's Snuggy Bear. He's got this. So, Snuffsie, just droning up, having fun. Got his spine. Feels pretty safe after that denied cannon rush. I've never really... Well, when Drum's trolling, I've seen Drum troll from, like, cannon rush into, like, proxy 2-gate, just because that's what he does. Yeah. But... dropping his Roach Warren relatively quickly. That is a very fast Roach Warren, actually.
Especially on one gas.
Yeah.
With nobody in it.
He can afford, like, what, 4 roaches, I think? How much are roaches on the gas?
Embarrassing.
Yeah, he can afford 4 roaches worth of gas. Almost 5. There
now
we go, 5.
Starting to mine from it. There we go. And with that, Snuffsie's is taking control of the game.
Yeah. Well,
and before he even gets that, he has the +1 attack going. So we didn't factor that into how little he can afford now with the gas.
I mean, he is droning still. He wants to. It looks like he's going to try and do a bunch of get a bunch of roaches for a +1 timing attack. But I mean, he's already starting roach production. Really doesn't have much of economy. and these roaches are going to need to hit before +1 is done to do any real damage. He's going to be at such a macro disadvantage not having the drones.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're even now. Army supply favoring Snuffsie because Snuffsie looks like he wants to be aggressive with it. That makes sense. I'm curious if Coach is going to get a read on this. He does have a scouting zealot out there. He is going to see the Evo working on something, if you can even know that it's working on something, because all Zerg buildings fucking twitch and pulse like, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about it. Coach himself does have his +1 about the same.
He knows what's happening now. When you see 2 roaches on the field at 7:45, you absolutely know what your opponent is doing. He's going for an early roach bust. You know it. And the thing is, his robotics facility is already in the way. He's going to get a quick immortal out. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, it looks already like that one cannon, the sentry, the stalkers, warp gate just about to finish, +1 going to be done soon. Yeah, even as is, I think he's looking good against any kind of interesting cannon placement. Okay, but hey, more cannons the merrier. I'm okay with it. Now 4 more gates going to come down for Coach. I dig it.
Yeah, he needs to defend. He knows there's a big push coming. If you look at the income tab, he's ahead. He's got the same number of bases as Zerg. When Zerg is on the same number of bases, it's not a happy time. These roaches really aren't going to do much unless these stalkers.
Now, Coach pushes out right here. Very interesting. Coach can get these guys picked off.
Scary.
Yeah. Oh, put the immortal away. Oh God, he's out in the middle or no. Okay. So I mean, we see more. It's not a risk, but to me, it's a risk sending your shit out there.
Well, yes and no. The thing is, there's only a handful of roaches. There's really not many units on the field right now for Snuffsie. He's got 14 roaches on the field. A bunch at his home. I mean,
yeah, and a lot of
his watchtower.
Yeah, that rally from Snuffsie putting so many roaches there isn't helpful.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to be pressuring right now. He's falling further and further behind economically by not having a third base.
Yeah,
it's not happy times. And the thing is, if Condor spends all of his money right now, that's a lot of units.
I like that Coach is saying, you know what? Thank you for finishing my rocks. I'm gonna go ahead and finish what you started, and takes down his own rocks, puts down his own third. He's a base ahead of the Zerg right now. Snuffsie, either go all in now or put down a third immediately.
Yeah, he absolutely needs to. And I mean, he's got 2 immortals on the field too. Really not that many units here for the Zerg.
And that's the cannon for him to get his troops where they needed to be and do a lot of damage to catch those roaches broadside. So,
and the thing is, now Snuffsie's in a horrible position. His third is actually behind the Protosses by a considerable amount.
Yeah. He's
down on workers. The tech for the Protoss is already going pretty well. He's got his 1-1 ahead of the Zerg. Zerg doesn't even have roach speed. And, I mean, the Twilight Council's done. Yeah. There's so many things for Condor that are going well, and even though the supplies look pretty even, this game is nowhere near even right now. Condor has a commanding lead.
Condor could take his units right now, maybe with the Warp Prism, maybe with the Proxy Pylon, and as long as he keeps reinforcing, could win with what he has now, with that third Immortal popping right now.
He could. Yeah, he definitely could. I don't think he's going to, just because when you're ahead, get more ahead, this is definitely one of those situations where you couldn't absolutely just move across the map and win. Easily see the third, and Snuffsie has to know he's in a lot of trouble now. Blink is it's about halfway done.
+2 about a quarter done. Yep, 3 immortals now in the fray. Now, Coach quickly starting to move his workers, or start rallying workers now out of his bases. I like the macro work from him. He's showing very well for me.
Yeah, the thing is with Snuffsie right now is Snuffsie continues to make lings and roaches, and there's a concept with Zerg that people need to understand. You either choose between I'm going to make drones or I'm going to make units. You want to do one or the other. So when you don't do that, you kind of die like this. Now Condor has so many more units on the field than Snuffsie because Snuffsie just doesn't have the economy to back anything. He doesn't have any tech. He's got his third, but he has literally no tech. He's got his lair. The infestation pit is not done and it's 13 minutes. Yeah. That's a problem.
Snuffsie working on Burrow and +2 attack, and I'm not sure it's going to be done in time to really help him. Having said that, the Burrow is really close to finishing. He could definitely harass quite a bit with the Burrow roaches to what's attacking because there's no observer there. But who knows if it's going to be a factor.
There's 4 immortals. 4 immortals will absolutely crush any non-zero number of roaches.
Is on the field right now, and that +2 is just about finished. +2 4 immortals is going to punch holes in this.
Yeah, and Snuffsie cannot attack this. I mean, those roaches are going to die so fast before Immortals. I mean, 5, 11, 11, and 10 on the Immortals for kills. Those Immortals are doing
a great job right now.
And the blink, the offensive blink, capturing all these roaches. That's just absolutely nothing on the field right now for Snuffsie, and this is going to be game.
Yeah, and Condor moving his War Prism even to the high ground, the main of Snuffsie, to attack on 2 fronts maybe is a great play as well to add to this.
Yeah, insult to injury. The game's definitely going to be over. He's pulling drones already, but the Warping on the high ground could seal it more or less. No way he's going to hold this off, even with all these drones. Just going to take huge losses. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, those Immortals melted those roaches just now. And there's the good game from Snuffsie. Coach taking this set 2-0. The newfound Protoss strength from Coach beating Snuffsie 2-0. Thoughts?
Definitely a really good set. I really like that Coach was kind of reactionary. I mean, he kind of had to be considering how aggressive Snuffsie was, but he took the aggression and he knew when to attack. It wasn't where it was like let's compare it to the Lon Xeon series. Lon didn't attack. He let Xeon catch up. Coach was like, screw you, you're not catching up, I will kill you right now. I know I have a lead, I'm going to do what I need to do. He did it at the right time. So definitely well played by Coach.
Yeah, I agree. I think Coach did a great job there. All right, guys, so we have our final set of the night coming up, and it is Coach again. Coach versus Neg, a PVT. Come back very quickly, guys. We know we are.